What would you say kids and having kids and taking care of kids have done for you personally? Like, what has it showed you, and how have you, maybe how has it changed the world or your viewpoint of the world and yourself?
Overall, they're great teachers. That's the first thing I'll say. They teach you about a ton of things. If you want to learn about desire, have kids and observe them, or at least my kids. I can't speak for other people, but my kids will start asking for something while they're in the middle of enjoying the thing they just got, you know? Like they're asking for X, they get X, and then as they're enjoying X, they're asking for Y.
Mm,
So it's completely future driven. It's always about the next thing, the next thing. And if you're aware and observant of your own self, you'll see that you're no different.
yeah.
Kids are just more obvious. It's hyperbolic. It's
Hmm.
like they've been asking for candy. They've been asking for candy. You give them candy and they're like, "Can we watch a movie?" It's like you just got the thing that you were hounding me for the last 2 hours.
Mm.
Enjoy it. Don't worry about the next thing. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But so to me, again, it's they're showing us, they're like a mirror, right? It's like a mirror. You're looking into a mirror. And if you're aware of that, then you can learn about your own self.
yeah, and especially because they are, if they are your biological kin, they are literally half of yourself.
Correct. Yeah. So even if it's, whether you think it's nature or nurture, either way, it's a mirror. it's a,
Mm,
right. Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting, man.
The other thing I know that I've learned from having kids and that I've seen is that they carry certain traits from like grandparents, even if they've never really spent a lot of time with their grandparents, or even if they're not that close to them.
Mm,
Because I didn't have contact with my parents for about 4 years. And during those 4 years, obviously it was like the formative years. My son is 5, so he barely knows my parents.
mm-hmm.
And my middle child is 8, so she was like 3 or 4 the last time. So despite not having any real relationship with them, they totally display traits of my parents
It's in
and
the
of
DNA.
Candace's parents. Yeah, so some of it definitely is
Yeah.
hardwired in.
I heard that one time, like humanity, in terms of our numbers, was down to like, I think it was like maybe 100 people, or maybe we'll say like 50 to 100 people, whatever the number is, even if it's 1,000, we'll say.
Mhm.
We all, the billions of people on Earth, exhibit the features and the characteristics of all of that group of people,
Mhm.
and it's all spread out all throughout all of us. I don't know the number. I don't think anybody really knows the number. There might be some guesses. We can look it up. What do you think the number is for the least amount of humans that have ever been on Earth?
Oh, geez, I've never even looked into that. That's a
It's
great
probably
question.
pretty low, but
Yeah.
whatever it is we are all of those people, just
Mhm.
in just the different genetic makeup, and all we got mixed up, but we're all that genetic makeup of that, we'll say 100 people or 1,000
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
When you think of it like that, it's like, wow, we are
Yeah.
all connected. It's crazy.
100%. 100% in every way, right? Like
Hmm.
spiritually, mentally, and physically. We're all connected.
Giant family.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. And we're all arguing about the 1% that varies. 99% is the same across the board, universal human nature.
Hmm.
1% is variable, and we're all fighting about the 1%.
I think it's actually
What
less than 1%, right?
it might be, I don't know. I just mean like in terms of like just overall differences, like, different beliefs, different whatever. When you get down to the core of a human being, everybody's the same.
Yeah. We
Everybody's the
all have the
same.
same drives, the same desires, the
Basic shit.
same
Yeah.
basic
Vehicles.
stuff.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
vehicles are all kind of the same. Obviously there's variants. Like I'm not 6'8", like
Hmm.
different paint jobs, different whatever, you know, frame size, whatever. But that's all 1%. That's all superficial. We all have
Yeah.
hands, we all have eyes, we all have, you know what I mean? Unless you're born with like some kind of disability, like we all have 2 feet, we all walk the same, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Physically, we're all basically the same, but people are like, oh, your nose is this way, your skin is this color, dude. You must be different.
Yeah, that's just like, that must be so, if there is an alien species, that must be so juvenile for them to look at the
Mm.
monkeys just fighting amongst each other over the
Slinging
little
shit.
things. Slinging metaphorical shit at each other
Mm-hmm.
over just
That's pretty
small
funny.
differences.
Yeah, it's like we all want to be loved. We all need food, shelter, water. We all need clean air. We're all after a feeling of comfort, safety. We're all looking for a meaningful life. We're all looking
Mm-hmm.
for the same shit. We're all driven by the same desires. It's like 5 or 6 things that we need. But the way that we pursue those things, there's lots of variance there.
Yeah,
And that's what we
exactly.
get hung up on. It's like, well, you think that this is the way to get to be happy and to, whatever, find God. Like, and then it's like, well, you're wrong because I think this. And it's like, okay, but we're all looking for the same shit. We're all
Yeah,
going after
exactly.
the same things. It's like, why can't we just say, oh, this is your view? Nice. Let me take some notes. Maybe there's some useful things in your worldview. And then it's like, here's my worldview.
Yeah. Putting it in this way, we're all looking for the same stuff. We're all looking for like the same endpoint. We just have a different way to go about it. If we could all just understand that, this world would be a better place. But that takes a little bit of work on yourself first to really deconstruct your own thoughts and your own self to be able to see that those same desires and same drives are present in others. It's definitely a process to be able to do that. But if we could, the world would be a better place.
I mean, you don't even have to, well, first of all, it's a process that arguably you can never really accomplish. Like it's an ongoing
Yeah,
process,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But what I would say is, even if you just start on that process, you don't have to get very far to start to feel more empathy for people, to start to be able to understand other people, even if you disagree with their points of view, even if you think they're misguided. It
Yeah.
doesn't take that much work on yourself, because as soon as you start earnestly looking at yourself and wanting to discover the truth of who you are, and you're not going to be put off by let's say inconvenient truths that you might discover about yourself, like I'm an arrogant asshole,
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm selfish, whatever. Oh, you're going to discover things about yourself that are going to make you uncomfortable. As long as you're earnest and you start to do that work, you're going to start to empathize and feel like you're going to start to see things the way we're describing them right now, as holy shit, I'm just like everybody else, and everybody else is just like me. God damn.
Yep.
God damn. A
God damn.
revelation.
Yeah, it
Even the
really is.
people you can't stand, the people you hate, the
Yep.
people you think are stupid, whatever. Damn, just like them.
Yeah. That's a hard pill to swallow too. The people you don't like are they're going through their own shit. They're going through their own suffering per se. And to be able to have the humility to admit that and say like, oh, you know what, they're this way maybe because of this. That takes definitely a lot of maturity to be able to do that. And I'm not saying I can. I'm not fully able to be that and love everybody, but it's a good goal to attain. To be able to, like you said, understand another person's position or why maybe they're doing things in a certain way that you don't like. I don't think I don't know. I don't think the human beings are evil. Deep down, I think there are some like psychopaths and sociopaths and Hitler and stuff like that. I think there is evilness that is present in humanity, and I don't know what the reason is. But the majority of us are um, well mannered, good souls. I believe we're
Yeah,
just
I agree.
lost. We're just lost. There's bad actions, there's negative actions, there's evil actions, but I think they all stem from good intentions. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think nobody goes through life thinking to themselves, I'm a terrible person and I want to
Yeah.
do terrible things. And if
Hmm.
someone does, then it's because for them, there's for whatever reason, like these are the psychopaths and sociopaths. For whatever reason, those people, when they hurt other people and do shitty things, that makes them feel alive and good.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's not even their fault,
Yeah.
right? Their
Right.
wires are crossed. Something happened on the factory line and they got their wires crossed. And now the things that are supposed to make them feel good do nothing. And the
Hmm.
things that make other people suffer make them feel good. They're
Yeah.
pursuing the same shit that everybody else is pursuing, some feeling of being alive,
Yeah.
feeling of doing something meaningful and pleasurable for them. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
that what they need to do to get those feelings is fucked up
Yeah.
towards other
I
people.